So I'll go first. I have, you can't see it here if you're listening, of course, but I have the iLive Tailgate Bluetooth speaker. This one, it's about $70. You can find it on iLive Electronics website. We've reviewed some of their stuff before. They're not too bad. I like them. I don't find them to be anything where, it's a premium audio or, I wouldn't necessarily consider them for, hey, I need to find something that's really loud, that's going to last a long time on a charge, But more of if somebody says, hey, I'm looking for something, I don't have a ton of money to spend. I'm looking for something that's going to be decent, flexible. What do you recommend for that? So this guy here, it's not too bad. And actually that makes it sound bad by saying that, but it's a tailgate speaker. So you would think this is something that you would take outside. You would put on the bed of a truck. You would maybe get out for a barbecue, put in a parking lot. Before the pandemic,
right?
Maybe later, a year from now. But this is the kind of speaker that I would have I had assumed that it would be weather resistant, and it's not. So it's got a nice hard plastic shell to it, so that if it does get wet, or somebody tips it over, it falls off the bed, or gets knocked over on its side in the parking lot, it's gonna be okay. It's got a nice plastic shell, but it is not waterproof. It looks like you can wipe it down pretty easily. But yeah, so it's for $70. I would definitely recommend it. It's not just a Bluetooth speaker. You can also plug in, just like a lot of speakers. You can plug in through the 3.5 or 3.5 millimeter auxiliary input. It also has micro SD, so if you have music on that, you can plug it in directly. And then you also have an FM radio, which is kind of nice. You don't find that on a lot of Bluetooth speakers.
No, not really anymore.
So that, I think, is worth consideration. If you're looking for something where you're like, I don't want to pair anything to it, I just want to break it out and listen to the pregame on the radio. Instead of casting a radio station to that, you can just tune directly in. So that's kind of a nice feature.
It also has lighting effects too, right?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that you see on the box is this, color kind of glowing from the speaker. There's one central speaker. It's an 8-inch, I guess you consider it a full range speaker. So everything comes out of the one. The box does show the color, and you see that as soon as you turn it on, it kind of lights up, and it'll go through a couple of different modes that you can do to kind of dance to your music or just kind of provide some atmosphere.
Right.
You don't have to have the light on, so you can toggle that, and that will impact, of course, battery life. Maybe negligible, but
sure.
Of course, if you always have it doing things like that. Sound is okay. The box shows bring the bass or something like that on there. It's not overly powering. First thing I did was try to throw different types of music at it just to see how it plays. It's pretty even. I don't want to call it flat, but nothing really punches you.
Right.
So it's not like bass is hitting you in the head. It's not like you have really sharp highs that are bothering you. It's pretty even. I think it's a good speaker. It's a decent sound. There's a handle on it. If you look on the back here, there's a handle you can kind of pull out like luggage. So if you wanted to kind of if you're wheeling that from, a car to a place in the park, you can kind of pull that out. Retractable handle. There's a couple of small wheels on the back. It's super light.
Is it heavy enough to warrant wheels?
Nah, no. I don't want to call it a gimmick. I don't think they're trying to sell it around anything like that. But I look at it almost unnecessary. It's really pretty light compared to there are other speakers much smaller that are much heavier. So it's light, and it has a handle built into it, kind of perpendicular to the retractable one. So you just grab it and go.
Sure.
It's super light. But if you wanted to kind of pull that out, and maybe if you had to strap a couple of blankets to it,
right, sure,
or you had depending on what you're trying to carry, It might be easier to pull behind.
I could see that.
Micro USB charge.
Yeah, that's that seems like a swing and a miss.
Yeah, it makes it takes a while to charge. It's 4 hours from 0 to 100%.
Sure.
Now that doesn't sound too bad, but playtime, you're getting about 6 hours at 50% volume.
So you got to charge it almost as long as it lasts.
Yeah, like 75%, 66%.
Sure.
But I would have liked to have seen USB-C or something faster than what you have here. Now, the plus side is you have a lot of these cables laying around the house. You've got them pretty much anywhere. Car chargers, a lot of the older ones still have those on there.
Right.
So you can charge that thing while you're on the way, to the game or whatever. But it's just not one of those things that, oh man, I forgot we were having our picnic is in 2 hours. You're not going to have a...
Where's my micro USB cord?
Right, and you only have 2 hours. You're not really going to charge it up all the way. So then you're looking at, 3 hours?
Sure.
And that might be plenty for that particular activity, but something to keep in mind.
I imagine that keeps the price point down, though, because it's fairly affordable.
Yeah, it's still one of those things where, there's so many of those ports out there that, it's the volume to find them, to get a hold of them. And there's a lot of companies still have those, so you don't have to necessarily adopt new technology.
Keeping the manufacturing costs down.
Yeah. So, again, that's the iLive tailgate speaker or Bluetooth tailgate speaker. It's about $70. If you go on their website, you can check it out and order directly from them. So, over to you.